Roll those shoulders up, down, and back. In fact, just keep rolling them up, down, and back. Just helps to open them up a bit. And then draw them to your ears and then down and back and squeeze your shoulder blades behind. Let the effort go. I'm just going to sit for a minute and breathe. So closing your eyes if you'd like to. I'm going to turn my palms up to the ceiling. And this is just a moment to turn your attention inward. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice any tightness in your muscles. Just a moment to become aware. Your next breath in, see if you can draw it in through your nose, fill up your belly, nice and big, and then let it go. It's almost as if you're filling up a glass with your belly being the bottom. Filling it up from the bottom to the top. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes, maybe blink a couple times, coming back. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you? Good. All right, let's move to the front of our chair. So I'm gonna warn you, June, that chair can be a little testy.
Okay.
Just be careful when, especially when you're on the edge, that the back doesn't lift. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll plant our feet, sit up nice and straight and tall. Again, let's roll those shoulders up, down, and back. And hang your arms by your side. Let's use our breath to take them out. Turn your palms up to the ceiling, and then we'll meet those together overhead. Next time you exhale, we'll let it go. Don't forget to turn those palms downward. So we're working with our shoulders, turning our palms up halfway, all the way down. Exhaling them out and then turn them down halfway down. Beautiful. Let's do that once more. Again, let's roll those shoulders. It's definitely worth the effort. Oh, we take them up to your ears. This time we'll hold just a bit and then release them down. Lots of space between your shoulders and your ears. Let's try it one more time. Inhale them up, give a little squeeze, and then let them go. Really draw them down. Lots of space, tall neck. Let's inhale the arms out to the side with your arms facing forward and give yourself a nice big hug. And we'll rock from side to side, sit bone to sit bone. And then how about a little twist? And back to center. Notice before we drop the arms, which one is on top, because we'll switch it up. Arms out to the side, palms facing forward, opposite arm on top. And we'll rock from side to side, sit bone to sit bone. We all need a good hug, right? And then coming to center and we'll twist to the right and to the left.
Oh, we didn't want to do that. I got it.
And coming to the center, we'll let them go. We'll hang them by your side. Okay, let's take the right arm out to the side with your palm facing forward. You're going to lift it all the way up and bend at the elbow, bringing your fingertips between your shoulder blades. So I'm moving my elbow to the side of it so that my neck can stay in alignment. And then we'll take the other hand and take hold of that elbow if you can. Again, neck should be not strained, so we're getting a stretch here. The shoulder, and then we'll let it go. Let's give them a little shake. Left arm up to the side, palm facing forward. We'll lift it all the way up, bend at the elbow, fingertips between your shoulders. I have mine to the side, so I'm not straining my neck. And then the other arm can hold on to your elbow. Do the best you can. This is called a triple Peter, right? Because of the stretch, and the stretch, and the stretch. Triple Peter. So we'll let them go. Let's take your chin back, setting your head directly upon those shoulders, and we'll drop an ear to a shoulder so you can feel the other side open. Just hang your arm by your side. And then head to neutral. We're going to draw the chin back and set your head directly on your shoulders. We spend so much time like this. I know I do. So really making that effort. And opposite ear to opposite shoulder, hang your arm by your side. And then release the head, release the arm. Let's bring the chin back to your chest. And we'll gently roll the head over to the right. Again, you've got your right ear now hovering over your right shoulder. Gently roll it back to center and to the other side. Nice gentle roll. Left ear hovering over left shoulder. Then we'll roll it back to the center of your chest and lift it to neutral. Let's move your head and your neck any which way that feels good and comfortable.
You're all friends.
That's okay. I did hear why that happens. There's not a lot of disc between your top atlas and axis. And they're close to your ears, so you can hear everything happening in there, right? So it might not be as bad as you think.
No, I don't hear.
Let's take the arms out to the side. We'll bring them all the way up. Palms together. Let's interlace your fingers and press. And exhale out and down. Let's try it again. Out to the side, all the way up. Palms together, interlace and press. And let those fingers go. Last one, inhale and up. And up. Interlace your fingers and press. Bring those thumbs together. Baby fingers together. We're going to go off to one side gently. Back to center. Opposite side. And center. And release out and down. Roll those shoulders. Okay, let's reach to the back of your chair. Sometimes if you reach down, it's a little less intense than if you reach higher. And so this is where, for you, June, just have, notice that the back can lift here when we drop our chest forward. So we're going to drop the chest forward, look down between your big toes and open your chest. And we'll come up and release the arms. Let's try it again. Reach back, drop the chest forward, your gaze between your toes. And then come up and release the effort. Last one, reaching back, dropping your chest forward. This time when we release, we're gonna bring the arms out in front and ground through your spine. Hands together, you can even add a little point here. So the inhale reaches back and opens the chest, and the exhale brings the hands together. Pointers point. Let's do this a couple more times. Open and round. And we'll release the hands to the thighs. Let's do a little twist. The old standby. Left arm out to the side, palm facing forward, and we're going to bring it all the way over to your right knee. Right hand on top. In this twist, we lift up to shoulder height, and then you reach back. Exhale and close the hands together. So if your neck is okay and long, you can follow your fingers back. If it feels like too much of a stretch, keep your chin in line with your chest here. When you twist. Let's do it one more time. Inhaling up and reach back. Hands on our thighs. Let's go to the other side. So right arm out to the side and all the way over to your left knee. And left hand on top. I know, it's like yoga for the mind.
I get a couple.
Yeah. And that's okay. And that's fine. When I was doing Zoom, I was trying to say that it was my left hand, but it was really my right because it's opposite when you look, right? Yeah. And that's fine, because we're going to get to both sides. No problem. And last one. And come to center, hands on thighs. Let's come forward into a forward bend. So we'll start with the breath in. And as you exhale, just release your fingers down towards your ankles. See if you can just let it go. Let your head hang. Let your arms be heavy. And then when you take your next in-breath, we'll gently walk the hands up, your shins coming back to seated, the best feeling in the world. Let's try it again. Nice deep breath in. And glide your fingers down over your knees. See if you can just, for a moment, settle down into your feet. And let the top half of your body just hang. And when you're ready, we'll start to walk the hands up your shins and back. Okay, let's come back into our chair. And we'll stretch out the right leg. Just do a little pointed flex. And then have a big circles round and round. And the other direction, of course. And we go to the other side. So this is my left leg. Point and flex. And big circles round and round. And opposite side, direction. And release. We'll do both legs out in front, point and flex. So if you sit back in your chair and your half of your thigh is supported, it'll be a little easier. Yeah. And then we'll do some circles towards each other. Let's add the hands, because why not? And then circles away. And then toes rotate towards each other and hands rotate away from each other. Oh, can't do it. It's like a brain thing. Okay, so let's point your toes and we'll just flap legs up and down. How about we hit the floor? Okay, I'll hold it up. Huh?
That sounds like a
Oh, that's funny. Let's come to the edge of our chair. And we'll take right knee to your chest and give a little hug. And left knee into your chest, give a little hug. And a little space between your feet, and we'll just knees open, close. Okay, sit up nice and straight and tall, and we'll stretch out one leg and reach to your ankle. Inhale up and back, and go to the other side. I was gonna do two, but I don't trust this chair, so we'll do one again. And walk your feet together, soles of your feet together. Careful for this one. And knees open. Cobbler's pose. Anybody here not hear the story of the cobbler's pose? Getting like my grandfather, I tell the same stories over. So this is called the cobbler's pose because in India, people would actually sit like this all day on the ground with their feet together, and the top of your feet supply you with a table to cobble shoes. Can you imagine? Good hips, right? Okay, let's stand up. And let's stand behind your chair. And you can use your chair if you need it, but you don't have to. And we'll begin in our mountain pose, which is your feet are hip width apart, nice tall spine, shoulders up, down, and back. Add a little squeeze, and lifting up to the crown of your head. Sometimes when I say crown of your head, people will lift their head. It's more of a lift up too, so lifting up through here and making your spine as tall as you can. So let's try that just for a moment. And then release your knees because they're probably pressed back, so easy knees. And your pelvis in neutral, so not too far back, not too far forward, but just kind of in between. And then roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Nice mountain pose. These arms hang by your side, but then we'll make them active by reaching down. So you feel this kind of this opposite pull as you reach down through your arms and up to the crown of your head. Your pelvis kind of, and knees, they move around. It reminds me of, and I saw one the other day, you know those toys, they're like old-fashioned toys, you press up and under, and the thing goes like this, and then you let it go and it bounces back. Yeah, that's kind of like, I think it feels like to be in mountain. Okay, and then just let it go. So practice that in the grocery store line, right? So let's take our fingers to the back of your chair and we'll walk away. And see if you can drop your head between your elbows. And what happens, don't lock your knees back so they're You're eased, not locked. And then when you're ready, lift the chest and just walk back towards your chair. Let's try it again, beginning in mountain. We'll take a breath in. And then as you exhale, walking away down. Take stock here, knees, hips, shoulder blades. And when you take your next breath in, we'll come back into mountain. Okay, I'm going to stand to the side of my chair. It doesn't matter which side we're going to go quick on. Okay, arms out to the side and all the way up. Let's interlace those fingers and press your palms up to the ceiling, and we're going to move off to one side. Inhaling center and exhaling other side. Inhale to center, release your fingers and draw your hands down behind your back. Let's interlace your fingers and draw your knuckles to the floor. What happens to your chest? Squeezing your shoulder blades. And release. Let's try it again. So interlace those fingers and press. Off to one side on the exhale. Inhale to center and off to the other side on the exhale. Inhale to center and release your fingers out, down behind your back. Draw your knuckles down towards the floor as you straighten your elbows. And then release. One more time, out and up. Interlace and press. Bring those pinkies together, those thumbs together, and on your next exhale, off to one side. Inhale to the center and exhale, other side. Inhale to center, release the fingers down behind your back. Interlace and press. And you release the effort. Let's give our hands a shake. Throw them together. Don't forget, in between your fingers. Okay. All right, let's open our feet nice and wide. You've got your chair there, so don't be afraid to put some good space between your feet. Let's take one arm right up next to your ear and the other down your thigh. We're going to use your breath. Bring that palm to face in. We're going to use our breath. Inhaling, reach up, and exhale, open that whole left side. For me, it's my left side. And then we'll inhale up. Let's do a couple more, same side. As you exhale, you're opening. As you inhale, you're coming back to center. And the next time you come up, we'll release that arm. Let's keep the feet where they are and go to the other side. So my right arm, right up next to my ear, left arm down by your thigh. Let's open up that whole right side. Using the breath to come to center. And the next time you inhale up, release that arm and we'll walk the feet together. Beginning in mountain again, let's open those feet nice and wide. This time the hand closest to your chair will hold on. And the opposite arm will bring it right up next to your ear. Again, we're going to use that exhale to open the whole right side. Use the inhale to come up and to center. Exhale and open. And inhale to center. Coming back to center, we'll release that arm. Let's walk the feet together. So for me, I'm going to move my chair to the opposite side. For you, you can just turn around and face the other side of the room. So standing next to my chair, in the mountain, I'm going to open my feet nice and wide. The hand closest to the chair, you can just hold on, opposite arm, right up next to your ear, and we're going to open this whole left side. Inhaling, coming to center, and then exhale, and open. Inhaling, center, and release that arm. Let's walk the feet together. Let's turn towards the back of the chair. Coming into mountain pose, walk away into downward dog. Let's hold downward dog for a breath. And when you're ready, inhale with the chest and back again. The moment to sit with my voice leaving me. You can stay where you are. I'm going to turn my chair so that I don't have my back to the computer. Okay, so standing behind the chair in that mountain pose, let's begin with our hands on our hips. Actually, I like it better with the hands on the chair. And we're going to step away with your right foot, so step behind. So to tell if our hips are straight in this wide leg pose, you can put your hands on your hips. Then you can see one elbow further back than the other. You know that your hips are probably not straight. So we're really looking to get those hips straight. Nice straight legs, but the knees are not locked backwards. So feel that as you ease your knees up rather than pressing back. So arms down by your side. We're going to use the breath to come in and out of the warrior. We go like this. So the in-breath, reach out and up. At the same time, you're bending the forward knee. And the exhale straightens the legs and brings the arms down by your side. So in-breath brings you in. And the out-breath brings you out. Can we do 3 more? Okay, 3 more. Easy breath. And last one, this one we'll hold for a breath. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, straighten the legs, walk those feet together. Notice the calf, right? Your calf is calling to you. Let's do a downward dog, just to bring us back to center. When you're ready, lift your chest. Coming back into the mountain. So in our mountain, bring your fingers to the chair and we'll step the opposite foot back. And then we'll place our hands on our hips just to get those nice square hips. We'll start with the arms down by your side. And we'll use the breath to come in and out of this warrior. This is warrior one, by the way, brave warrior. Think of all the ways that you're brave. And you're probably braver than you think you are. Okay, using our breath, inhale out and up. And exhale out and down. Can we do 3 more? I think we can. Now this last one, we're going to hold for a breath. Arms by your side, walk your feet together. And we'll use the chair to walk back into a downward dog. Downward dog brings us back to center. Let's lift the chest and walk back into mountain. Okay. Let's come to the side of our chair. And we're going to open the feet nice and wide. We're going to use the arms for this one and take them out to the side and all the way up with an in-breath. Out like a big V and exhale. Keep those arms up, we're going to inhale. This time we're going to bend the elbows and bring them down into the sides of your chest. So let's try that. With the in-breath, reach. And with the exhale, lower. Squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. One more time. And then release the arms and walk the feet together. Okay, let's open your feet wide again. And we'll add to our V pose, or letter X. This is the letter X. We're going to make it a goddess pose. Arms out to the side and all the way up. This time as you bend your elbows in towards the sides of your chest, you're going to bend your knees, but don't drop your chest forward. Keep it nice and open. We're going to inhale and reach and straighten and exhale and bend. Inhale and reach. Think of yourself getting the things you need and bring them in. One last time, reach. And lower. Let's release the arms, straighten the legs, and walk those feet together. Let's take a couple nice deep breaths in a mountain pose. Nice deep breath in. And breathing like you're filling a glass from the bottom up. Filling your glass from the bottom. And then letting it out. Let's turn to the chair and come into that mountain pose. Every standing pose should always begin with mountain, so we're bringing ourselves back to center. Start with the breath in, and we'll exhale and walk the feet down and down one last time. Let's hold for a breath. And when you're ready, lift the chest and walk back into mountain. Let's turn our chair around so that we're standing in front of the seat to your chair. You get right up close so that when you look down, Your toes will be right up to the edge of your chair, so there's no space between. And we'll take those shoulders up, down, and back. We're going to do a forward bend using our breath. So inhaling out and up. As you exhale the breath, the arms come out to the side as you press your hips back. Easy knees. And then bring your hands to the chair. Now here you can decide if you want to let your head go and hang, or if you want to hang on to it. Let's take the arms down by your side with easy knees, and we'll use the breath to reach out and up. And exhale back down to Namaste. Okay, let's try it again. Arms down by your side, breathing out and up. If you want to look up there, you can. If your neck is not feeling it, don't do it. Let's exhale and bend from the hip. Hands to your chair, easy knees. See if you can let go of your head and neck. And when you're ready to take your next in-breath, you'll take the hands and arms out to the side, or reaching all the way up. And exhaling, Namaste. Okay, one more like that. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay. Coming back into our mountain pose. Let's inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, bend from the hip, press your hips back, hands to your chair. Let's inhale up in what's called the half forward bend. So your arms are nice and straight and your knees are nice and straight. And we're going to take one hand and put it into the center of your chair. And the other arm, you're going to hang it down by your side. We're going to use our breath to take the arm out to the side, up. And I want you to think about kind of easing up on those knees. So we'll look down at that hand that's hanging, and we're going to inhale and breathe it out. And exhale and breathe it down. So if your head and your neck can follow your thumb, that's great too. Notice my knees, I have one knee bent here, that's okay. And exhale it down. Let's try it again, inhaling out and up. Easy knees. And exhale it down. Last one for a total of 4. And exhale it down. Let's bring both hands to center, arms nice and straight, your hands from the chair, above your thigh, press your feet in to come to mountain. How's everybody doing? Good, other side. Inhaling out and up. Exhaling, forward bend. Easy knees. Opposite hand to the center of your chair, and opposite arm hangs down beside. Use your breath and bend your knees as needed to take the arm out and up. Use the inhale to take it out and up. I'm bending in my right knee here. To aid in my twist. Let's do one more. And bring both hands, half forward bend, straight arms, straight legs. A nice deep bend in the knee, your hands just above. And press your feet in to come back to mountain. What are we doing? Good. Okay, let's come back to our chair. Actually, we're not gonna come back to my chair, we're gonna go down. Start. I'm thinking about chair yoga. So we're gonna come all the way down onto our mats. And take a try with Sukhasana. So I'll give you a hint. If your knees are higher than your hips, you can measure the amount of space between your knee and the mat, and that's the amount of space you should be up off the floor, right? So if you're uncomfortable, just stretch them out in front. Okay. Let's reach behind. So hands behind your hips. At the same time, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together and opening my chest. Just a breath or two here. And then the hands out in front. I'm making these little tents with my fingers. So now they're out in front. So a straight line from my hip to my head as I draw my chest forward. So we'll reach behind, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then those hands come forward, and then back to center. I'm gonna take one hand and bring it out right outside my hip here with the other arm right up next to my ear. And I'm just gonna open the side. Use the breath to come to center and reach all the way up, and then exhale and hold. This time we're going to come up and back to center. Switch it up, opposite arm right up next to your ear. And open the side. Inhaling up and reach. Exhaling, open. And back to center. Let's take the legs and straighten them out in front. A little space between your heels. I'm going to reach my hands behind, and we're just going to point and flex. And then release the effort, sit up nice and straight and tall. So this is called stick pose or staff pose, or in Sanskrit it's called Dandasana. So your toes, looking up at the ceiling, you're imagining this flat floor against your feet. And then sitting up nice and straight and tall, lifting through the crown of your head. It's essentially mountain bent at the hip. So let's take our hands and we'll just walk them just a bit forward. If you feel yourself rounding, we'll come back up. You're bending like a hinge, right? We're bending like a hinge, not rounding. So bending like a hinge, nice straight back. Okay, let's bring the soles of our feet together into the cobbler's pose. Hang on to your toes and your ankles. Again, we're lifting up to the crown of your head. At the same time, opening the sides of your knees to the floor. So want a nice open hip. And then we'll bring those knees together and press your legs out in front. Okay, one sole of your foot to the side of your thigh. So try not to lose your nice tall spine. And then we'll draw it in and out. Go to the other side, sole of your foot into your thigh. Notice what's happening with your sit bones. We always want them to be grounded. I think of them like a teepee, you know, like a tripod. Sometimes they close together. You want to kind of move that flesh and feel them and be centered on them. So let's bring that knee in and press it out. Let's put some space between your feet, your heels, toes. Look up to the ceiling. Come to center. But over the right leg. Remember that image. And then how about the left leg? And then come to center. Let's come to center, back in that Sukhasana pose, that sweet, sweet pose. Sukha means sugar, sweet pose. So we're gonna come from here, we're gonna come onto our knees for a table pose. So take your time and move yourself into table. So in table, we're looking for a nice straight back, so not arched, not sunk down in like the cow, or not round like the cat, but nice and flat. The inside of your elbows looking at each other. Let's walk the hands back towards your knees and bring your forehead forward. If it just won't quite get there, you can always stack your fists here, elbows in, stacking your fist and just supporting your forehead. To come out of a child's pose, walk your hands back into the rock pose. If that doesn't feel good on knees or hips, you can always come to what's called the high kneel. It's a little nicer, although you still might be feeling it on your knees. This is a better floor than what we used to have cement under that rug, right? Yeah. So the wood has some give. Yeah, it's not so bad. So let's just press our hips forward here. Press them forward. Just kind of opening these thigh muscles. Place your hands on your hips, and we're squeezing those shoulder blades together. As you press your hips forward, this is a camel pose. And in camel, they would reach right back to your heels. We're not going to do that. We're going to open our hips and squeeze our shoulder blades together. And then ease the effort. Let's try it again. Hands on your hips. Squeeze those shoulder blades and press your hips forward. Feeling the camel pose. And then easing back to center. Let's come back into table pose and we'll try a downward dog. So the hands in downward dog are lots of space between your fingers, right? Lots of space. Your big middle finger pointing forward. You want to keep those wrists safe. And if you're feeling your wrist, it might be because the line of energy is right down to your wrist. So if you want to move them just a bit forward, it takes the intensity out of the ankle. So let's roll our toes under and drop your heart forward. Just your gaze should be between your thumbs. And we're going to inhale. And then exhale and lift your knees, pressing back into downward dog. Just give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. The head hangs here in downward dog. And we'll inhale the knees down and press back into child's pose. And then we'll inhale back into rock pose or the high knee. Let's try another downward dog. First, check in and see how you're feeling. Let's take the shoulders up, down, and back. And we'll ease down into a table pose. Remember, lots of space between your fingers, big thumb, big Big middle fingers facing forward. Roll the toes under. Use your inhale to lift a knee and then exhale back into downward dog. And then inhaling, knees down. And then all the way back into child's pose. And then we'll gently walk back into the rock pose or the high kneel. Let's take those shoulders up, back and down. How are we doing? Okay. So let's come down and we'll come off to one side. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. So we're coming all the way down. Just take a moment to get comfy. Take a couple nice deep breaths into your belly. Bring your chin down towards your chest. See if you can open up the back of your neck. And then we'll come into your shoulders and draw them down as you flatten out your shoulder blades. Feel them nice and flat on your mat so that your chest is nice and open. And that frees up your neck so you can open the back of your neck.
You got about 5 minutes, Sharon.
Okay, sounds good, thank you. Let's take the right knee into your chest and then we'll draw that left leg long. Activate your feet by pressing through the heels and making those legs work. Let's switch it up and bring the left knee into your chest and extend the right leg long. Again, make those feet nice and active. Let's go back to the right knee. Take it into your chest, stretch the left leg long. And with your left hand, guide that knee across your body and to the other side. There we go. Now to come out of the stretch, you reach both hands towards your knee and then roll onto your back. And then release your knees. Take the left knee into your chest, stretch the right leg long. And with your right hand, guide that knee across your body and to the other side. Now to come out of this pose, reach both hands towards your knee and roll onto your back. We'll release that knee. With your feet on the floor, lift your hips up towards the ceiling and set your sacrum just above your coccyx, nice and flat on the mat. Let's extend those legs long. Check in with those shoulders, roll them down and under, flattening those shoulder blades and opening your chest. Let's take the arms out to your side and then roll the palms up to the ceiling. Just rest them on the floor. Let's take some nice deep breaths here into our belly. And when you're ready, bend the elbows and bend the knees. Roll to one side and make a pillow with your hands. And when you're ready, help yourself come up and back to seat. Okay, finding those sit bones. Let's take your legs and switch them up, opposite leg in front now. See how that feels. Okay. Let's bring our hands to our heart, namaste hands. Nice deep breath in and out. Fingers from your heart to your forehead, back down, we'll add a little bow from namaste. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. How's everybody doing? Good. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. Favorite poses, least favorite poses.
I'm surprised I did that. Instant. And I can't do some photos.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that could be a lot.
Used to.
And anytime you can bend your knees, you know, that helps to kind of cut your hip out of it anyway. Let's just for a moment close our eyes. We're going to take a moment to draw our awareness inward. That's really important because I think we spend a lot of time in our head. So taking just a moment to notice and bring your awareness into your body. And when you're ready, you'll softly and gently open those eyes. Okay, let's do some yoga. I'm walking my feet back into mountain. And seated nice and straight and tall. Let's use the arms to take a couple nice deep breaths. In, nice deep breath. And out, nice deep breath. How about one more? And inhaling and rolling the shoulders. Exhaling and drawing them down and back and squeeze your shoulder blades. Inhale up to your ears and exhale down and back and squeeze. And one last time. Okay. Let's take one arm up next to your ear and the other holding the underside of your chair. And we're going to use the breath to open and lift. So we're going to exhale. Just open that whole side and inhale to center. See if you can keep your abdomen pulled in and keep both sit bones on the chair. And we move to the side, one sit bone wants to lift. See if you can press it down. And last one. And we'll release that arm and switch it up. So holding the underside, drawing the opposite arm up. We're going to use the breath in and out to move. Here we go. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, reach, and exhaling, open. Let's do one more. We'll inhale to center and release the arm. Let's move to the edge of our chair. We have a little more space. Walk your feet into mountain. Let's drop your arms by your side. We'll do some shoulder rolls. So up to your ears, down and back. Up to your ears, down and back. Very nice. And then the last one, we'll give a little squeeze and hold for a breath. And release. Let's take the arms out to the side with your palms facing forward and give yourself a nice big hug. And we'll gently rock from side to side, sit bone to sit bone. And then come to the center and we'll twist from side to side. I'm keeping my chin in line with my chest. And come back to center. Notice which arm is on top. We're going to switch it. So arms out to the side. Give yourself a nice big hug. Let's rock from side to side. And coming to center, we'll twist from side to side. And coming back to center, we'll release those arms. Let's inhale the arms out to the side and all the way up. We're going to interlace your fingers and press your palms up. Let's bend the elbows and press those palms up. And then we will bend the elbows and make some big circles around the top of your head. And then we'll come to the center and go in the opposite direction now. And back to center. Release your fingers out and down. Let's draw your shoulders up to your ears. We'll hold and squeeze as you hang your arms down and then let go. Let's do it one more time. Shoulders up to your ears, we'll hold and squeeze and release it down. Let's draw the palms forward. Give yourself a nice big hug. Open those arms forward. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then release the arms. This is my right arm. I'm bringing it right up here next to my ear. I'm going to bend the elbow and bring my fingertips between my shoulder blades. With the other hand, I'm going to bring it right up here to my elbow. So my head and my neck are easy. They're not being stressed. by this pose. And if they are, just bring it out and down a bit. And then release the arms. Let's try the other side. So this left arm right up next to my ear. Bend the elbow, fingertips between your shoulder blades and the opposite arm. Hold your elbow. So if your head feels stressed or tight, just ease up. And then release. Let's give those arms a shake. Let's do a twist. So this is my right arm out to the side here, and I'm going to bring it over to my left knee. The opposite arm, I'm going to hold under or hand on the thigh, and I'm going to inhale it and lift it up and back. Up and back. Head and neck is easy. This is a rainbow pose. Keep a little bend in the elbow. If you feel a pull in your shoulder. And last one. We'll bend in the elbow if you feel too much of a pull in your shoulder. Let's come to center. And opposite arm here. Hold the underside of your chair or hand on your thigh. Then we're going to bring it left hand to the right knee. We're going to lift it up and over. Again, a little bend in the elbow if you feel too much of a pull in the arm. And back to center, hands on thighs. Let's hold for a breath. Let's start with an in-breath. And as you exhale your breath, bring your torso forward, your belly right on your thighs, and release your hands down towards your ankles. Now you can keep your head in alignment with your chest, or you can just let it hang. See how that feels. Then we're going to start to walk the hands up and over. Come back to seated. Let's do that 2 more times. I think it's good. Beginning with an in-breath. And exhale, belly to your thighs. Slide your hands down towards your ankles. See if you can let your head hang. And when you're ready, gently walk it out. If you feel a swimming feeling in your head, when we go forward, don't let it hang. Nice deep breath in, belly down to your thighs, and we're reaching to your ankles. I'm keeping my head aligned with my chest here. I'm not letting it drop. And I'm going to walk my hands up and over. And come back to seated. Let's hold for a breath. Let's come back in our chair. And we'll stretch the right leg forward. Let's do a little point and flex here for our ankles. Try not to lose your nice tall spine. And then big circles round and round. And then back to the center and the opposite direction. And release, and we'll go to the other side. Left side now, pointing and flexing. And then big circles, round and round. Biggest you can make them nice and slow, really feel every circle. And to the top in the opposite direction, big circle, nice and slow. Feel the stretch. All right, let's stretch out both legs. Let's have the hands for this one. We'll do a little point point and flex, so we'll just draw the hands forward. And then we'll do circles upwards, we'll add the hands. And then circles inward, we'll add the hands. And then we'll point your toes and we'll do a little flap, flap. Lift and lower, and then we'll hit the floor. Okay. Let's move to the edge of our chair again. And we'll spend a few minutes in our hips, right? Hips chronically tight, especially if you spend a lot of time in chairs. So when you can, sit on the floor, go for a walk, try to limit your sedentary time. It really does take a toll on our body. All right, right knee to your chest. Give it a good squeeze. And left knee into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Once more to the right. And left. And last one, right. And left. Pull the abdominal muscles in nice and tight, make them work. Very nice. Stretching right leg forward, we'll add a reach. So gliding your hand to your ankle, and then inhaling it up and back. Left side, stretch it out, add a reach. Back to the right and reach. Use your breath, left and reach. Exhale, stretch, and reach. It says that my battery is getting low. Why would that be? My battery is running low. Why would that be? Let me just make sure everything's plugged in. That looks like it is. Okay. If I lose you, that's why. I'm not quite sure why it's saying low battery, because it's plugged in. Okay, so we were stretching and reaching. And left side reach. All right, now I won't lose you. Okay, so we're at the edge of our chair. Seated up nice and straight and tall. Let's do open, close, open, close. And then let's walk those feet wide. Don't lose your nice tall spine. And walk them together. And wide. Don't lose your nice tall spine. And together. And wide. And nice tall spine. Let's come forward and we'll take the elbows down on your thighs. And draw your heart forward. So you're lifting your heart and your chest. And then we're going to exhale, press your feet into the floor and round. See if you can keep the elbows on your thighs. So inhale and lift your heart. Exhale and round. If you keep your gaze down at the floor, the back of your neck won't crunch. So try to do that rather than lifting your head way up. Last one. And then we'll take the heels of your hands where the elbows were and walk your feet together. Let's walk your feet wide again. Let's take turns dropping the knees. Your hands can be on your thighs, or you can hold the underside of the chair. My chair's gonna squeak. And then we'll draw both knees up and we'll walk the feet together. Let's stretch both legs forward. With a little bump in your knee, kind of grounding your heels, let's walk the fingers forward. Be mindful of your chair, right? A nice strong chair, nice sturdy chair. All four legs grounded. It's not going to slip or flip out from under you. Let's try it again. Begin with a breath in. And exhale and reach. And walking your hands up and back, feet on the floor. Let's take one knee into your chest again. Give it a little hug. With one hand, just round it out, big circles away from your center. And then we'll give it a little hug again, and this time circles in towards your center. And then we'll give it a little hug again, and let it go. Other side, left leg, give it a little squeeze. Don't lose your nice tall spine. One hand circles away from your center. And back to center, we'll give it a little squeeze, and this time the circles will go in towards your center. Give it a little squeeze and release. Let's stretch one leg out and then the other. Stretch and stretch. Okay. Before we stand, let's do something for the toes. So I'm on the edge of my chair here. And I'm going to lift the heels and come up onto the balls of my feet. And then you can open and close. So you're rolling to the baby toe and then to the big toe. And then flatten your feet. And this time, lift your toes. So you can get lots of nice space between your toes. And then come up onto the balls of your feet again. And then your heels. And one last time. Balls of your feet. Stretch it out. And heels. Okay, feet nice and flat. Let's bring the soles of your feet together. Don't lose your nice tall spine. Squeezing those shoulder blades in the back, cobbler's pose. And stand behind your chair in a mountain pose, right? So your feet are hip width apart. And your fingers are here. You've got the chair if you need it. So we'll just rock to the balls of your feet and then back to the heels and lift the toes. It's almost like a balance pose. And then how about roll to the outside and then flat again. To the outside and then flat again. Okay. How about we open our feet a little wider and we lift one foot to to the back and then the other. So you can have your chair if you need it, and we're just kicking back. And speed it up. And slow it down. Okay. Let's come back to mountain, and we're going to take turns lifting your knees. So hands on your hips or hands on your chair, and we'll lift. It's almost like I'm lifting up to the side here because my chair is there, preventing me from lifting it forward. So fingers on your chair or on your hip, and we're just lifting these to the side. Let's do one more on each side, just lifting up the knee and coming back to mountain. Okay, let's step your right foot back. So both legs are straight, and I'm going to shift the weight to my front foot and then to my back. Notice how your heel lifts and then the balls of your feet lift, and they go flat when they're bearing weight. Notice all that happening. And you don't really even need to think about it. Okay, so now we'll add a little to this, and we're going to lift the toes off of the mat for the back foot. Relax, keep your spine nice and straight. And now we'll add the front foot, so just an inch or so off of the mat. Okay, last one. And then we'll walk those feet together into mountain, and just notice one hip, how it feels versus the other. Let's step the right foot forward and the left foot back. And again, we're going to shift the weight. Okay, we start by adding the lift in the back. So it's just an inch or two, not a big lift. You can always hold on to your chair. And let's add the front too, so lifting the back. One more, and then we'll come to center. Let's walk those feet together into mountain, and then just notice. Let's open your feet a little wider than hip width apart. With your hands on your hips, let's just rock from side to side, so you're pressing one hip and then the other. Okay, let's add a circle. So big circles back and then forward, pressing your hips back and then forward. And then we'll change direction. Notice your head and your neck. When you lift, are you crunching the back of your neck, or do you have a nice tall spine? Let's come to the center, side to side, and then we'll walk those feet together. I'm going to stand to the side of my chair. And open my feet nice and wide. Now the hand closest to the chair, I'm just gonna reach over and hold that chair for support, and the opposite arm is gonna come right up to my ear. And I'm gonna use the chair to help me open the whole right side. So as you inhale, reach, and as you exhale, lower. Reach and lower. And lower. Okay, the arm's gonna come up and then it's gonna come all the way out and down. And then we'll walk our feet together. Let me switch this chair. Opposite side down, nice wide feet. Hand closest to the chair is gonna hold the chair, opposite arm right up next to my ear, and I'm gonna use my breath. The exhale opens the whole side. Just a couple more. Open that whole right side. Feel the stretch. And lift and lower. We'll walk those feet together. Let's do a downward dog. So downward dog with a chair. I stand right behind it. The seat is away. My fingertips are on the top, and I'm gonna walk away from the chair on an exhale. Just because the exhales tend to ground. As you inhale, we'll lift and open and walk the feet to the back of the chair. Let's try it again. Starting with an in-breath. As you exhale, walk yourself back, downward dog. As you inhale, lift your heart, round through the spine as you walk. Back into mountain. And one last one. Use the exhale to walk back into downward dog. And use the inhale to walk back into mountain. Let the head be the last thing that lifts. Okay. Let's come back to our chair. Let's take a sip of water. So I don't lose my voice. Okay. Let's come back to the chair and find your sit bones, ankles under your knees with a nice tall spine. Let's do some poses in the chair. So we'll move to the edge. And stretch out one leg, little bump in the knee, the other little bump in the knee. Nice straight legs, but grounded, your heels are grounded, so you're not going anywhere. Shoulders up, down, and back. We'll open that chest. And with your next breath in, we'll use the arms out and up with your palms facing forward. My arms are right up here at my ear, so they're not more forward than my torso. We're gonna move together. Inhale and exhale, just dropping the chest a bit forward, that's it. And inhaling up and exhaling out and down. Downward dog in your chair. Again, stretch out those legs, a little bump the knee, ground your heels. Use the breath, out and up. Exhale, downward dog. Last one. Okay. Let's walk the feet together and bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees be wide. So this is cobbler's pose. Taking those shoulders up, back and down, open the chest, and lift up the crown of your head. So you're lifting nice tall spine. Knees together. Let's take one knee into your chest and give it a hug. And the other knee into your chest and give it a hug. Walk the feet together. A little open, close, open, close. Feet in mountain pose, and we'll walk the feet wide, using your ankles for this. Again, walk them wide, and then together. And last time, walk them wide. So adjust yourself, seated with nice wide knees, nice tall spine. I'm gonna take the outside of my right forearm and just rest it on my thigh. My hand just hangs out in the middle. And rather than sulking down in, lift that heart. We're gonna bring the arm right up and next to your ear. Palm facing in towards your head. And feel that whole side open from the toes of your left foot out through the fingers of your left hand. Let's bend the elbow and walk the knees together. And I'll take one knee into my chest and then the other. Again, let's walk those feet nice and wide. Don't lose that nice tall spine. This time the outside of my left forearm crosses my thigh and the hand hangs in the middle. And rather than sulking forward, we're gonna open the chest nice and wide, opposite arm, right up next to your ear. Palm facing your head. And feel that stretch from the toes on the right side, all the way up through the fingers. And then we'll bend the elbows and walk the knees together. This time let's straighten one leg and then the other. And come back to center. Let's bring the feet together, the toes together, and our knees together. And then I'm going to cross my right thigh over my left. So make some adjustments with your sit bones to ground yourself. And I'm going to point the toes of the top foot down towards the earth. Okay. Arms down by your side, shoulders up, back, and down. Let's take the arms up to the side. And then bend at the elbow with palms facing forward. You can stay right here in this cactus pose, or you can draw the elbows together. You're feeling a pull in the back, between your shoulders, and that's good. That's what we want. If it's too uncomfortable, you can always just stay here and give yourself a nice hug. You want to take it a little further, you can scoop this right arm under the left, and then I'm going to bring the back of the hand towards me as I reach my fingers to my opposite palm. This is eagle pose. So feel that stretch, that polar stretch, one side to the other. Reaching up with the fingers and pointing down with the toes. And then release the arms and release the legs. Just notice. Let's walk our feet together, knees together. This time we're crossing left thigh over right. If you're looking like this, that's okay too, as long as you're not in pain. top toes, I'm gonna point to the earth. Nice tall spine. Let's take the arms down by your side, out. Bend at the elbow, palms are forward. Cactus pose, right? Bringing the elbows together, hands and fingers. You can stay right here in this eagle pose, or you can take it a little further. So this is my left arm scooping under the back of the hand towards my face as I reach to the palms. A little twist going on here. That's opening your trapezius muscles, that big kite on your back. You can always go like that, or just keep the elbow and the heels of your hands together. Let's release the arms and release the legs. Let's take turns stretching them out. And back to seated. Let's take one knee into your chest. We'll give it a little hug. And the opposite knee to your chest. And we'll give it a little hug. Okay. Let's keep going with these seated poses. In terms of your spine, your body's getting the same benefit as when you're standing or sitting. You might be burning more calories when you're standing, but your hips and your spine, your joints, they're all getting the same benefit as when you're seated in a chair. So it's the perfect exercise if you struggle with balance or falling. Okay, so beginning with feet together and knees together, we're going to do a tree pose. Tree pose is just allowing one knee to follow to the side, opening that hip. And you're on the edge of the chair so that you have some greater space here to work with. So the opposite thigh and the shin all grounded down into the earth. And this whole side is just open hip. I'm going to walk the sole of my feet right up next to that standing foot. When I make the connection, it can open the hip a little bigger. So standing up nice and straight and tall here. This is a tree pose, so we're going to take the arms out and up. Interlace your fingers and pointers point, and we're going to inhale them right up. And reach, reach, reach. If this is too much, you can always put a bend in your elbows if it's too much for the shoulders. So reach and open that hip. Tree pose. Release the arms. Release the legs. And we'll stretch, stretch. Stretch, stretch. One more time. I'm going to check the time. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes left. So we'll do our tree pose other side, feet together, ankles together, knees together. Nice tall spine. Just letting the opposite knee follow to the side. And then we're going to bring the sole of the foot right up next to that rounded leg. Thigh doesn't move, foot doesn't move. But this whole side just opens. Shoulders up, down, and back, and we'll take the arms out to the side and all the way up. Fingers interlace, pointers point. And we'll bring them right up and over. Feel that polar stretch as you stretch up and out. And that hip is open. Don't hold your breath, make sure you're breathing. And we'll release the arms and release the legs. A little stretch, stretch.
5 of Sharon.
Okay. Okay, seated on your chair, nice tall spine. Let's bring our hands together into our chest for namaste. Namaste. Have a wonderful Saturday.